and then we have also discussed universal crawler, and then first it is sequential crawler, and then what is that second one? Concurrent crawler, and then also you have seen universal crawler. Today we are going to discuss focused crawler. Okay. So the main important point on focused crawler is that rather than crawling pages from the entire web, we may want to crawl only pages in certain categories. That is the basic concepts. So why to unnecessarily crawl all the pages? Instead, you can be more focused, and we may want to crawl only pages in certain categories. Okay. So one application of such preferential crawler would be to maintain a web taxonomy. As I said earlier also, web taxonomy. So web taxonomy such as Yahoo directory or the volunteer-based open directory project, which in short we call it ODP. Okay. Example could be dmos.org. Although it will be little bit older information. Right now there may be more open directory projects available online. Okay. So now what is the thing? The thing is that what is the catch now? Catch is that rather than crawling pages from the entire web, let us be a little bit certain about the categories and then do the things. So for that, crawler would try to maintain it web taxonomy. Web taxonomy is what? Web taxonomy means some detailed information about the web so that it can be, the crawl page can be categorized. Okay. So such as Yahoo and Open Directory project. So now suppose that you are the Open Directory project editor for a certain category, and let's say soccer or something. You may wish to launch such a crawler from an initial seed page. So seed set of pages. Seed set of page already in what is seed page starting the first starting pages. Okay, seed page relevant to that category. So let's see if I'm interested to crawl the pages which are dealing with soccer related information. Then there will be a seed set of pages for me. That means initial starting point. And see if any new page is discovered should be added to the directory. So every time I discover new page, I decide whether to add that particular pages to the directory or not, either directly under the category in question or one of its subcategories. Okay. So from here itself, hence for the concept of focused crawler was born. Okay. So here one interesting additional thing is that what Open Directory project, this thing is needed. Open Directory project is needed. This Open Directory project is nothing. It's a web taxonomy. Okay, web taxonomy such as Yahoo directory or volunteer-based open directory project. Okay, example maybe dmos.org. So from here itself, we have the focused crawler concept started. Okay. Now, what focused crawler does? A focused crawler attempts to bias the crawler towards pages in certain categories in which the user is interested. So if user is interested in soccer or maybe in movie, then focused crawler will try to bias the crawler towards the pages. That means it will force the crawler to crawl the pages related to soccer or movie. And that is what focused crawler is. So as I mentioned earlier, that focused crawler proposal, it has been proposed by Soumen Chakraborty in the year, sorry, it is wrongly written. So as mentioned earlier, that Soumen Chakraborty in the year 1999 proposed a focused crawler based on a classifier. Now what they have done, because here we have this interest, which area we're interested in, based on that the crawler will attempt to bias the crawler towards the pages of certain category. So here we can have a predictive modeling concept, or you can say classification, because it is of our interest, right? So this concept was not introduced in earlier crawler, so it is somewhat new. So Chakraborty et al. Proposed this crawler in the year 1999. What is the idea? So the idea is to first build a text classifier. Okay. So the idea is to build a text classifier. Now, once my interest is soccer, so based on the crawled pages, I will be the classifier will classify the soccer related pages. So that is what the classifier job is. Okay. So text classifier, I'll be coming to text classifier. Text classifier is slightly different than normal classifier. So you know, classification is what? Classification is nothing but many of you might have already taken machine learning concept, but let me tell you a little bit. Machine learning algorithm, in short, it is ML, would be categorized into three parts or three categories. Okay, one is supervised learning. Another one is unsupervised learning. Some of you may already know this. And the last one is reinforcement learning. These three way you can categorize this machine learning algorithm. First one is supervised learning. Okay, so this text classifier most probably will be coming under supervised learning. In supervised learning, what happened? We know the levels what to classify. Okay, so there will be a supervision. There will be a supervision in case of supervised learning. That means which level to classify and what is the attribute that you have to classify. Whichever algorithm you are using, that doesn't matter, but algorithm will be having a level that based on that level it will classify. So that means supervision is available. So that is what supervised learning. Let's say if I am going to classify cancer patient and non-cancerous patient, that means carcinoma and benign. In the data set, it must be the column of the, let's say it is the Excel file, the column should be available. That means that column which is like either 0 or 1, let's say 0 for benign and 1 for carcinoma. So I can show you a little bit here, because many of you might not have gone through machine learning. So let's say this is my Excel file. Okay. This is also true for the image classification. Okay. So these are the instances, let's say X1, X2, X3, X4, and these are the attributes A1, A2, A3, A4. Let's say A4 is the decision attribute. So every entrance, every time this entrance happens, like some entry happens here, and then this is maybe 0, 1, 1, 0. So one star, let's say this is positive plus positive, and this is negative. Okay. So let's say positive class is carcinoma and negative class is benign. So this is how the data set looks like. So if this A4, that means the decision attribute, this is sometimes called decision attribute. If this is present, then we'll call it supervised learning. Okay. So there are plenty of algorithms such as Naive Bayes classifier, one of the oldest algorithms. Then we have SVM, support vector machine. This is also old classifier. We have decision tree. This is also another classifier. And then we have something called unsupervised learning, where this columns won't be available. This won't be available. So in that case, you will be applying the method, and then let's say same thing, same data set. If I don't provide you this column, if I don't provide you, then what you will do? You will apply the method, and then finally you will get two clusters. One is of a set of positive patient, another one set of negative patient. So when the supervision is not available, that time we say it's unsupervised learning, or sometimes this is mentioned referred as clustering. This is second type of algorithm. These two are the majority of the algorithms, machine learning algorithms we have. And apart from that, you have reinforcement learning as well. So in reinforcement learning, what happens? We have a penalty, like system when is not performing, it will be punished by some penalty, and then it will again rework, and then if it is performing better, then it will give reward and all. So reward and penalty, all these things are there in case of reinforcement learning. Okay. Anyway, text classification is mostly it is supervised learning. Okay. We have a naive-based classification for text classification. It's an old classifier. Based on the text, let's say sentiment analysis you are doing. Okay. So based on the sentence, we can decide. I mean, the data set can have sentiments, is a positive sentiments or negative sentiments based on the sentence. One sentence, small sentence. So you can classify the text. Okay. So you can classify the text sentence wise, and the whole document wise also you can classify whether document is positive document or negative document related to a particular sentiment. Okay. So this is how things happen. So text classifier using level example pages from say the ODP, Open Directory Project. Then the classifier would guide the crawler. Now classifier has come into the picture. We have seen the classifier in the last class also. This is the classifier. So we have seen the classifier also in last class. So just remember that there is a classifier which should guide the crawler by preferentially selecting from the frontier those pages that appear most likely to belong to the categories of interest. Okay. Now my interest is soccer, and I have crawled some pages, and that crawler has crawled some pages. Up to this much is preferential crawler. Now once classification come into the picture, then out of this, let's say 10 pages crawled, which page should be crawler preferential selecting from the frontier. So frontier, we have 5 pages. Out of that 5 pages, maybe 1 pages is of interest of mine, which is soccer related pages. So that time classifier will say this is the page you should focus on. Okay. So according to the classifier prediction, right? Now here if prediction goes wrong, normally prediction won't go wrong because it will be trained. How this predictive modeling works, because they are mostly like, you may be hearing the accuracy of the predictive modeling. 96%, 98%, 88%. So normally predictions goes correct most of the times. Sometimes it is wrong, but most of the time it is correct. That's why this autopilot car or self-driving cars are coming to the market, right? Because most of the times they run correctly, provided the algorithm, machine learning algorithm, and also those cars are being guided by the satellite, which is operational in US, but in India it is not happening, right? Because of those problems. So, but sooner or later, these things also will come in India, autopilot car or self-driving car, whatever you say. So most of the time, these classifiers are wrong. That's why people are saying that machine will take over the universe and all these things. Elon Musk is saying that it is dangerous, that artificial intelligence can take over. And another side will say, no, it is not like that. So there are confusion on these things. But most of the times, it is correct. It makes things automated. That's why this according to the classifier prediction, it will happen. So that page that I'm interested in, that will be picked from the frontier using the classifier. Now, which classifier will use, that depends, that I'll tell you, there are scope. But when Chakravarti et al. Will come to that. So to train the classifier, example pages are drawn from various categories in the taxonomy that are shown in the next figure. This figure, I'll come to the figure, but before that, let me understand let me tell you some points about text classification. One second. Some point on text classification. What is text classification? The text classification is a task of assigning predefined categories of free text documents. It can provide conceptual views of documents collection and has important application in the real world. Text classification, okay? For example, news stories are typically organized by subject categories or geographical codes. Academic papers are often classified by the technical domains or subdomains. Okay. Patient reports in healthcare organization are often indexed from multiple aspects using taxonomies of disease categories, types of surgical procedure, insurance reimbursement, codes, and so on. So categorization of the text can be of many types, and these are the types. So news stories are typically organized in subject categories, like if you're interested in soccer or some politics, mostly you will be, and then there will be recommended systems, and whenever you open Google or something or mobile phone, you will find such kind of information. Whichever the information you search more, such kind of information will pop up to you in front of you more even in mobile phone, also in smartphone also. Okay. So how does this thing happen? This thing happens by classification only. Somebody is doing that for you. Okay. Somebody is doing for their business interest. So that's why if you search something in Amazon, some book, you will find after some day similar type of books also pops up. Sometimes they even send email account saying that these are the book you search for, these are the other books available. Such kind of things happening. So those are recommended system. Okay. So text classification is an important thing and it's widely used. Another widespread application of text categorization is spam filtering. Just I'm giving example quickly. Spam filtering is an example of text categorization. One second. Okay. So in spam filtering, what happens? You know that email can be example of text categorization could be email spam filter also. Okay. So spam can be of ham email and spam email. Ham emails are welcomed, which is valid email. Spam emails are unwanted emails that we don't want. Okay, so spam email is another example. So text classification techniques could be categorized into two categories. One is statistical text categorization, statistical text categorization based on the statistics, and then based on the classifications also, like decision tree logical rules, instance based rules that have explored for text classification. The most commonly used types of classification rules are linear rules. Okay. So evaluation metrics for text classification is precision, recall, accuracy, error. These are the evaluation rules that we'll be seeing in this course later on also, how to evaluate the classifier. So precision is one of them, recall is one of them, accuracy, as I told, maybe 80% or 94% accuracy. Error, F1 is another measurement. So understanding precision and recall, I'll recap. So in precision, what happens? The information retrieval and classification, precision and recalls are performance metrics that apply to the data retrieved from the collected corpus or sample space. Precision also called positive predictive value, is the fraction of relevant instances among the predictive instances, while recall is the fraction of relevant instances that were retrieved. So this is interesting, okay, students. Precision is what? Precision is the fraction of relevant instances among retrieved instances. Precision, while recall is the fraction of relevant instances that were retrieved. So recall always should be towards one, value of recall should go towards one. Precision value also value should go towards one. Recall is a very important metric while doing text classification and all of, and any other classification measurement. Recall. So recall also should reach one, but in that process we should not lose the precision. Both has to be towards one only value. Okay. So this is there. Okay. So one example of precision recall is consider a computer program for recognizing dogs, let's say, in digitized collection of photographs. Upon running a query, the program identified 8 dogs in picture containing 10 cats and 12 dogs. And of the 8, it identified as dogs. 8 has been identified as dogs. 5 actually are dogs, while other 3 are cats. False positive. 7 dogs were missed and 7 cats were correctly excluded. Okay, true negative. The program precision is 5 by 8. True positive divided by selected elements, while its recall is 5 by 12. True positive by relevant elements. So this is what precision and recall is. Okay, this on this dog example is interesting. Okay. Now let us again come back to the focus crawler. So some background information I have given it. So now, however, for focused color, the classification algorithm used was naive Bayesian method. So you know Bayesian classifier, naive Bayesian method has been used in case of focused crawler. Okay, naive Bayesian method. So for each category C, let's say this is my category C in the taxonomy, we can build a Bayesian classifier to compute the probability of P, probability of C given P. Okay, now C is the category. Let's say if I have, let's say 5 category. Okay, 5 category, and what is P? P is a crawled page. That means probability of C given P. What is the probability of C given P? I have the crawl page. This page should belong to which of the category? Like if I have 5 category, which of the category it should belong? So that is the thing. So probability of C given P. It's a conditional probability. Okay. So each category is in the taxonomy, we can build a Bayesian classifier. So this is nothing but Bayes conditional probability. Okay. So that crawled a page P belongs to C. By definition, probability of top given P is 1 for the top or root category. So it is believed that probability of top given P is 1 for the root, for the top or root category. Okay, this is given. User the user can select a set C star, okay, of categories of interest. I can have as many categories I want. I can have as many categories I want. So let's say user can select a set of C star of categories of interest. There is no bounds of choosing the category. It can be a set, and let us call it C star. Okay. Each crawled page is assigned to a relevance score. Now each crawled page will be assigned a relevance score. Okay. So this is my interest area of category of interest. This area, let's say, is my area of interest category. And these are the crawled page. Sorry, this is the area of interest. Means this is the set of categories of interest. Okay. And each crawl page is assigned a relevance score. So relevance score is RP. Right? So this is the relevance score. And this relevance score is nothing but summation C belongs to C star. C star is what? Total number of categories that two of our interest. Okay. And then probability of C Even 5. As I said that earlier case here, let's say category, let's say 5 category I have interest. Let's assume. So here this C will go for 1 to 5. Okay. So sorry, this is sister is 5. That means 5 times the probability has to be calculated. Okay. So that means what? That means let's say I have area of interest, category of interest is 5. Okay. So what will happen in that case? For probability of C1 for category 1, what is the probability? That the page that I have crawled, probability of C2, crawl page, probability of C3, crawl page, probability of C4, crawl page, okay, and probability of C5 crawl page. If let's say there are 5 categories I have chosen, okay. So this will be the relevance score. This will be the relevance score for the crawl page P. Okay. This is the relevance score for the crawl page P. Okay. Now, two strategies were explored in the soft focus strategy. Soft focus. First, there's two strategy. One is the soft focused strategy, and second one is hard focus strategy. Okay. These two